All right, so there's one key things you need to know before we really get started with our first AWS service, and this is just a global infrastructure terms that you need to know, which I must have talked about initially. Now we have the first one, which is the region. Now a region is just a physical geographical location. Okay, and an example could be US, and inside of US, you could have different data centers, or London as well. Okay, so a region contains multiple data centers, and anytime you want to use a service, you must select a region. Okay, now if it doesn't allow you select a region, it means it is a global region, which means that it is global. There's no specific place that you need to choose. There's no specific region you need to select. Okay, so just have it in mind that a region is just like an area. Okay, and inside of this area there are multiple data centers. Okay, just think of it as a school. Then inside of the school there can be different um um stuffs. Let's say the admin building, there can be the student building, there can be the um, principal building, and so on, right? So just think of it as a campus, not exactly a campus, but I'm just trying to make you understand what a region is. Okay, and then inside of the campus, there can be different buildings um, for different purposes. Okay, the building are not related to each other; they all do their own specific work. Okay, so in this case, this region, they all have different data centers, and these data centers has their own connections, their own separate connections like networking, storage. They are completely separate from each other, right? Okay, and then we also have the next one called availability zone. So just like I said, a region has multiple data centers, and these data centers are called availability zones. Okay, and a data center is just a group of data. Okay, it's a data center or a group of data center is just what is inside the region. Okay, and an example of a center name could be US East 1A, US East 1B. You get the idea, right? US East 1C, like that. Okay, and each availability zone, okay, has its own power, its own network, its own storage, its own failures, right? So if anything happens to a an availability zone, for example, US East 1A, it does not affect other availability zones, okay, because they don't use the same power network and anything else related. Okay, and this is used to prevent downtime. Okay, so if anything happens to one availability zone, okay, it doesn't affect others. All right, so that's what you should know. So a region again is just a geographical location or an area. Then inside of this region we have different availability zones. Okay, and then lastly there's also what we call edge locations. Now edge location is just a small AWS location close to users worldwide. Okay, and this is usually used for faster content delivery. And an example is, say we simply have a region here, and then we have different availability zones inside it. So let's say this is US East 1A, US East 1B, and then US East 1C. Okay, so within a region or closer to a region, there can be what we call edge locations. Okay, so edge locations. An edge location is simply allows your content to reach the customers or your users more faster. Example, if your user is from a very distant place, okay, and he uses his device to access maybe your website or your application, okay, the distance which where you hosted your servers and storage, let's say it's quite far from the user. Okay, so and then later on, if the user needs to access your service, now what AWS will do is that it would instead store some of those your services into like an edge location. Okay, just think of it as a small store where the basic things that people require most of the time is always going to be stored inside what we call a edge location. And an edge location is instead more closer to the user. Okay, so if the user just needs to visit or use any of your service, so instead of it coming directly from where it is hosted directly, okay, it's going to instead come from the edge location. Okay, so those are basic stuff stored inside there, right? So that's kind of what it is. Okay, so so all of those things is just for fast content delivery. Okay, so the content can be delivered on time, and this usually works with a service called Amazon CloudFront. And don't worry about that, but just in summary, it's just a small AWS location close to users worldwide. That's it. Okay, so this is the structure of simply everything I've talked about just now. So we have AWS here, and in AWS we have the region. Okay, so as you can see, then inside a region you can have different availability zones. Okay, so you can see inside the region we have different availability zones, and you could have as many availability zones like availability zone A, or availability zone B, or availability zone C, so which is also called the data center. Okay, and then we also have edge locations which are closer to users worldwide. Okay, so just like I explained, so that you can access the content faster and easily, right? So edge locations are just simply global in this case. All right, so these are some global services and some regional services. So first of all, you need to understand that most of these services we are going to learn in AWS, they could either be global or regional. Okay, and you don't even need to know which is global or which is regional, but these are a lot of different services that are grouped, and I just want to let you know that this is one important thing you need to know. So these are some global services like IAM. When you created an account on AWS, okay, we've just created is a root user account. Okay, I'm going to show you that in a second. If you create an account, it is global. Okay, you can simply sign in anywhere, anytime. Okay, that's like a global service. Okay, and we have AWS organization networking. Some networking services are global. Security is global. Billing is also global in this case, and these are more like a regional services, right? In this case, okay, like EC2 Lambda. EC2 is like a virtual server. So if you want a virtual server, you need to specify the region where you want it to be, and so many other services like RDS S3, which is a storage service, and so on and so forth. Okay, so we are gonna get through all of this gradually, but just have it in mind that AWS services can either be global or regional. And then for the regional service, just to break it down again, you must choose a region if you want to use any services. Okay, so for example, this EC2, you should EC2 is just simply where your server runs, right? And if you're going to be using this service, you must actually choose a region where you want it to be. Okay, the same thing applies to RDS, okay, relational database service, or S3, which is where you simply store your files. Okay, you must choose a region. Okay, and then inside of region, remember we have AZs, or availability zones. Okay, now if it doesn't allow you to choose a region, it simply means it is a global service. Okay, which simply means it works automatically everywhere. You don't need to select a region. Examples of this could be IAM or Road 53, that's for your domain, or CloudFront, like that. So you get that idea. So this is just simply all you need to know. And then just one real last example to finalize everything like this. So let's say you build a website in this case, or you want to deploy a website. Well, you would need a server, okay, and the server is just the EC2. Okay, and that's where you choose your region. Okay, so you must choose your region for your EC2. Okay, so that means that's a regional service. And your domain, domain name like maybe google.com or amazon.com. Okay, those are examples of domain. And domain cannot be regional. Okay, it has to be global. Okay, because anybody needs to access it anywhere from the world. And then we also have what we call CDN. So CDN is a global service. Okay, and then if AWS asks you to pick a region, just know it is regional. Otherwise, if it doesn't ask you to pick a region, just know that is global. Okay, so finally, I've broken it down here. Okay, so region is just where your app lives or where your website lives, and then availability zone is just a multiple stores, multiple data centers in a region. Okay, it's just a backup data centers. Okay, and then we also have edge location, which delivers content fast to users. So if one availability zone goes down in one region, okay, there'll be a backup immediately. Okay, so let's say all your files is in a single region, and maybe a thunder strike or something happened, all your files will be there'll be a backup in another availability zone. So that's what I mean here. Okay, so that's all about that in this case, and that's it. Don't worry if you don't understand it. Um, gradually we would get to understand it. Okay, so we'll move on to the next section, which is the IAM.